Good morning everyone. So good to see you again here for our last morning in our series of Heroes of Faith. So give us a wave if you are in Crawley, or a wave if you're in Burgess Hill, or a wave if you are in Worthing, or a wave if you're in Horsham. So good to see you all, and of course if you're at home, we love you and we miss you and we hope to see you again soon. Now today's Hero of Faith has an encounter with some animals. This is a bit of a clue for you. So what we're going to need to do first is stand up and get ready to play the animal game with Alf.
G'day young saints, my name's Alf Red from Australia's least famous zoo, or Alf's for short. And today we're going to play a game. We're going to play a game called Flamingo, Stop, Go. All you're going to have to do is imitate the animal that you see on screen. I'm going to show you a variety of animals, and you have to move around your space or room available to you in the manner of said animal. Are you ready? Animal number one is a kangaroo. Let's see you hop around your room, folks. Let's bounce, bounce, bounce. Ha! Tigger ain't got nothing on this. We're bouncing like a kangaroo. Go, go, go. That's some good bouncing, some good bouncing. Well done there, young saints. Oh yeah, real good bouncing. But now look, it's changed. We've got to be a flamingo. Flamingos are famous for standing on one leg, so stand on just one leg. Can you balance on one leg? Can ya? Can ya? Come on, young saints, let's see you on that one leg. Now let's switcheroo to the other leg. Switch to the other leg. Flamingo on the other leg. That's right, if you're on your right leg first, now you're on your left, you're on the left leg first, then you're on your right. Going once, going twice, salt to the man on the big hat. Ha! Nice, very good. But I tell you what, the animal's changed. It's time to be a sloth. Let's go real slowly round your room. I want you to go round in slow motion like somebody's put you on a bit of a freeze frame. That's it. Nice, like you're walking through treacle. Perfect. Well done, young saint. Very slowly. Slowly. Yeah, that's right. Well done, you. But you know what? It's time to be a bear. And you know what bears do every year? They hibernate. And I want to see you hibernate too. Curl up on the floor. That's right, curl up nice and cozy. Let's throw up some Z's. Anyone good at snoring out there? Yeah, that's right. I want to hear you snoring like a big old bear. Come on, youngster, give it some welly. All right, well, let's do one more to finish, shall we? Let's do one more to finish, and we're gonna snapperoo like a crocodile. Are you ready? Get up and get about, and yeah, snap, snap, snap. That's some good clapping there. Snap, snap. If you want to be real ferocious, give it some teeth. Oh yeah. Oh, ferocious. Ooh, ferocious teeth. Come on, get around the room, get snapping. Nice. Well, how about that? Stop where you are, gather round and find your seat, because it's time to move on with the day. Have a great morning, young saints, and I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.
Good morning, young saints. I'm Andy, and I'm here to share the memory verse for this week with you, found in Daniel chapter 6, verse 22, and it is, "My God sent his angel to shut the lion's mouth so that they would not hurt me." See you next week, guys.
Our Father in heaven, well, Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. His love came down, down, down. My prayers go up, up, up. God gives me what I need. He gives me what I need. His love came down, down, down. My prayers go up, up, up. God gives me what I need. He gives me what I need. For yours is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. For yours is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. His love came down, down, down. My prayers go up, up, up. God gives me what I need. He gives me what I need. His love came down, down, down. My prayers go up, up, up. God gives me what I need. He gives me what I need. God gives me what I need. He gives me what I need.
Well, hello there, boys and girls. It's me, Beryl, the crayon, and
Me, Shelley.
The
Not the crayon.
she's a human. Oh, wonderful. Oh, well, Shelley, can you show us today what the boys and girls have got to do for their craft?
Yeah. We've got 3 different colouring sheets.
Oh,
1,
2,
2,
and 3.
3.
Oh, that's my favourite. I like that one. You see, all the colouring sheets today show the story of Daniel when he was in the lion's den. Which one did you like best, Shelley?
I think I like the same one as you.
Ooh,
Yeah.
we like the same things. Oh, well, wonderful. Well, if you're going to join us in person today, we're also going to make lion dinner plate craft thingamajigs,
Ooh.
which we can't show you yet because they've not been made.
You've got to make them.
You make them, not us, silly. Such fun. Well, if you're joining us from home this morning, don't forget you can join in too by visiting
Online.
Online. Marvellous. Have a wonderful week, young saints, and we look forward to seeing your craft. Hey, see you again soon. Ta-ra.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, it's exhausting being on TV, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
Can you remember the memory verse from last week? Can you tell which words are missing on the screen right now? What's hiding under those boxes? In my blank, I called to the blank, and he answered me. Blank, chapter 2, verse 1. What are those blanks? Let's have a look, shall we? In my distress, I called to the Lord, and he answered me. Jonah, chapter 2, verse 1.
Good morning, young saints. How are you this morning? We are going to learn about our final hero. We have looked at so far, come on, help me remember. So far we have looked at, on week 1, the man who built the boat.
Noah, well done. Number 2, week 2, we learnt about the small boy who beat the big man. David and Goliath. Yeah, David, well done. And then last week, we looked at the grumpy prophet who thought that God was too good, too kind, and too forgiving. Who was that? Jonah. Well done, if you said Jonah. Today we're finishing up with Daniel. Now, Daniel, something you need to know right at the start about Daniel is that his name has a meaning. The L at the end of Daniel, as in E-L, means God. And the first bit, Dani, means is my judge. So Daniel altogether means God is my judge. Daniel lived a life which showed that he lived as if God was his judge, so that God would judge him for the way he acted. That meant that he lived his whole life to try and please God and only God, in a time when other people were living their lives to please whomever they saw fit. Most of them were trying to please the king. But Daniel was trying to please God. Now, with that in our mind, let's read our story for today, which is called Daniel and the Scary Sleepover. Things were not looking good for God's people. They had been captured and taken far from home. And now they were slaves of the king of Babylon. But God had not left his people. He was with them and he was looking after them. Daniel loved God and obeyed him. Now God made Daniel able to understand lots of difficult things, so it wasn't long before the king of Babylon noticed him. King Darius liked how clever Daniel was, so he made Daniel his most important helper of all, and put him in charge of lots of other helpers. But the other helpers didn't like this. They wanted the king to like them best. They wanted to get rid of Daniel. So they spied on Daniel. They tried to find things wrong with Daniel so they could tell the king things they could, but there were none. They couldn't find anything at all except that there was just this one thing. Every day, 3 times a day, without fail, no matter what, Daniel went to his room, closed the door and prayed. They smiled to themselves. Let's go to the king and make a law. No one is allowed to pray to anyone except the king. Daniel won't obey this law and he'll be punished. They were pleased with themselves for being so clever, and they hurried off to tell the king. The king liked their idea. He didn't know that they were tricking him, so he made it into a law. Everyone must pray only to me, he said, and if you don't, the lions will have you for their dinner. Daniel heard this, and he knew it was wrong to pray to anyone except God. He had to do what God had said, whatever it cost him, even if it meant he would die. So Daniel went to his room, closed the door, and prayed. That's just what the bad men knew Daniel would do. They skipped straight off to tell the king, "Oh, your most glittering highness, your law says, does it not, that everyone must pray to you alone, sire?" "Yes," said the king. "Oh, magisterial brightness, then correct us if we're wrong, but it would seem that Daniel is praying to God, not to you." The king was sad. He'd been tricked. He didn't want to hurt Daniel, but he couldn't change his law. So he let the soldiers throw Daniel to the lions. "May your God, who you love so much, rescue you," the king said. The king went back to his palace, but he did not sleep that night, not a wink. He tossed and turned until finally, at the first glimmer of dawn, he leapt out of bed and ran straight to the lion's den. "Daniel," he cried, "has your God rescued you?" "Yes," Daniel shouted. God sent an angel to close the lions' mouths. And there, resting his head on Daniel's lap, was the biggest lion, purring like a little kitten. The king brought Daniel out of the den. "Look," he said, "Daniel doesn't even have a scratch on him." The king made a new law. Daniel's God is the true God, the God who rescues. Pray to him instead. God would keep on rescuing his people, and the time was coming when God would send another brave hero, like Daniel, who would love God and do what God said, whatever it cost him, even if it meant he would die. And together they would pull off the greatest rescue the world has ever known. What an amazing story. I love the story of Daniel. And today in our groups, let's chat about the story of Daniel. Let's discuss what you think it means for us. How can we be like Daniel in our lives, amongst our friends, doing the right thing, even when it seems that no one else around us is doing the right thing? Making time to pray to God, prioritizing that, even if it's not a popular thing. Let's read, let's chat, and let's pray together. And I'll see you again in a minute. Welcome back everyone. I hope that you had a chance to read, to chat and to pray together. We've read the story together, haven't we? Let's chat about how it applied to our lives. You know, Daniel faced a very, very real threat to his life. The king had said that anyone that didn't obey this new law was going to be thrown to the lions. But Daniel still did the right thing and trusted in God to keep him safe. His testimony after all that was our memory verse today from Daniel 6 verse 22, that my God sent his angels to shut the lions' mouths so that they wouldn't hurt me. That's Daniel's story, and I know that it can be your story too. God looks after his own, and he did look after Daniel, and he will look after you. Whatever it is that you're up to this week, I pray that God's grace and his peace would be with you. Have a fantastic week, and I'll see you again next week. Bye.
Thank you for joining us today. We hope you can join us again next week. If you haven't already done so, why don't you subscribe to our YouTube channel? Have a brilliant week and see you soon.